I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a baby crying. I'm gonna have to wait till he stops crying. She's still crying. Still crying. Okay. Alright. So I got a package. I'm gonna put this down for a sec. The guys over at Traction, they sent me a message. They asked me if I had any spare bike parts lying around, and I don't. Anyway, in exchange for a video, they offered to send me a Traction frame, and let's see what I got. Here it is. I have no idea how to put it together. Oh hey, they also included these caps. Normally I wouldn't take all of this stuff out. It would be nice to see it in the flesh. Here's the fork. So the design pattern was inspired by the indigenous people of the north here in the Philippines. Here's the frame. Gotta say, looks pretty nice. So if you're familiar with Traction, you already know what I got. This is a Traction Grit. It seems to me like it's more of a touring frame. So I'm gonna hope to set it up as a tourer. But here's the problem. When the guys from Traction, they sent me a message, asked me if I have any extra bike parts lying around. The truth is I don't really have that much bike parts lying around. Really next to zero practically. And I told them I'm not really gonna be able to spend that much money on a new bike, especially since I do have a newborn, and it doesn't feel responsible to allocate a lot of money on a new bike right now. So I'm going to be asking for some help. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm on instagram.com/sobermusings, and if you happen to have bike parts lying around that will fit this frame, let me know, send me a message. I would appreciate the donation to see if I can put this frame together. I feel like it's going to be a very interesting bike in a sense that I'm going to just see what I can cobble up and put together, and whatever comes out, comes out. My preference is that it would be a drop bar bike, but I'm not limited to that. We'll see what happens. So this is going to be a nice little experiment to do with this frame. It's also going to be the first time that I'm actually putting a bike together. Every time I've purchased a bike, it's either been a stock build or I transferred all the bike parts that I had in a previous bike to the new bike. So this is essentially my first bike from scratch. And I'm not very picky when it comes to bike parts. I just want to make sure it works. Weight to me is not an issue. Fancy parts to me is not an issue. Of course, if I get fancy parts, that would be great. But that is not the main consideration with this frame right now. With this frame right now, I just want to put a bike up and see what kind of bike pops out of this little video with the Traction Grit. Now, a few things I like about this frame. There's a lot of mounts. There's 3 over here, 2 over here. On the fork, it's got 3 as well. It has a slacker front end compared to the previous Grit frames, which I would assume that would mean actually that it should handle better on the downhill, and it should handle better in case I do have a bag in the front, if I am not mistaken. And then according to the guys in Traction, this frame should be able to fit a 700 by 45 tire. He said you could actually fit a 700 by 50, but there wouldn't be that much mud clearance. I feel like it's also surprisingly light. It is an aluminum frame. I remember when I held the Midnight Special fork. The Midnight Special fork was very, very heavy. Ooh, this is a good opportunity to weigh the fork and the frame. I am in no way an expert on putting a bike together, so if you have questions about the frame, put it in the comments, and then if I don't know the answer, I will find out. So again, if you could help me out, if you have bike parts just laying around, consider donating it. Send me a message on Instagram.com/sobermusings. It would be nice to put this bike together with your help. No boring days, please subscribe.